The man I am right now, I learned from boxing because my whole life I
Out of here, man. Please. Please get the out of here, man. It's my night. It's payday. Payday.
He thought humiliating Canelo Alvarez would give him the mental edge. But once the punches started flying, the only thing he gained was a brutal lesson in respect. Canelo Alvarez has always been known for his calmness under pressure, but even the most composed fighter has a limit. And when Caleb Plant pushed him too far with insults, shoves, and a slap during their infamous face-off, the entire boxing world knew their fight would turn into something personal. Plant had always carried confidence, but in the build-up to this showdown, he crossed lines Canelo wasn't willing to ignore. What began as promotional hype quickly transformed into a bitter rivalry filled with trash talk, tension, and genuine anger. The moment Plant slapped Canelo during the press conference scuffle, he unknowingly triggered a fire inside the Mexican superstar that would return to haunt him on fight night. But behind the drama, there was a deeper story. Canelo Alvarez was at the absolute peak of his career. He wasn't just a champion, he was the face of boxing, a generational superstar, and a man destroying opponents across multiple weight classes with frightening consistency. Caleb Plant, on the other hand, was a skilled boxer with heart, speed, and refined technique. He wasn't a pushover, and he certainly wasn't scared, but he made the fatal mistake of believing he could rattle Canelo emotionally. Instead, he awakened the coldest version of him. Plant entered their championship clash believing he could outbox Canelo with footwork, a long jab, and discipline. And to be fair, he did start the fight with composure. Round one looked promising for the challenger. He used his reach well, kept distance, and landed light shots while avoiding heavy damage. Canelo, however, treated the first round like a scouting mission. He studied Plant, watched every movement, tested reactions, and began the slow process of breaking him down. While many believe Plant won the opening round, they didn't understand the deeper story. Canelo wasn't losing, he was downloading information. He was reading Plant like an open book. Round two continued the pattern. Plant stayed active with his jab, circling and landing clean but light punches. Canelo remained patient. He stalked forward, threw feints, and looked for the moments Plant's guard drifted out of position. It was a high-level chess match, but the energy in the arena made it clear that Canelo was slowly tightening the trap. He didn't need to rush. He didn't need to throw heavy yet. He simply needed to watch, measure, and step closer. By round three, Canelo began applying more pressure. His body shots thudded loudly every time they connected, each one stealing a bit of Plant's stamina. Plant landed combinations, but Canelo barely reacted, his iron chin absorbing them without blinking. Whenever they entered close range, Canelo looked far more dangerous, delivering short hooks and uppercuts that caused the crowd to react with each impact. Plant remained disciplined, but the difference in power between the two men grew clearer with every exchange. Round four revealed the first major shift. Canelo's pressure intensified. Plant started backpedaling more, forced to work harder than before just to maintain distance, and Canelo knew it. He calmly marched forward, cutting off the ring with subtle steps, pushing Plant into defensive shells. Every time Plant touched the ropes, Canelo ripped shots to the body that echoed through the arena. The Mexican superstar wasn't just hitting Plant, he was draining him like a hunter wearing down prey. Still, Plant refused to fold. He fired back, landed counters, and showed heart. But Canelo had now found his rhythm and was slowly taking command. Round five showed more of Canelo's patience, but also more of his power. He still stalked Plant with the same expressionless focus, but his punches grew heavier. His body shots thudded deeper. His right hand kept finding Plant's guard and slipping through. Plant jabbed, circled, and worked hard to keep distance, but his punches lacked the weight to gain Canelo's respect. Whenever they traded, Canelo won the exchange. By round six, the slow unraveling became more visible. Plant's movement was still solid, but you could see the fatigue setting in. Canelo's pressure never stopped. He kept moving forward like a machine, throwing fewer punches but landing far more meaningful ones. He ripped to the body, lifted Plant's guard with sharp jabs, then came over the top with heavy right hands. Whenever Plant slowed down even slightly, Canelo attacked instantly. The Mexican crowd began feeling the momentum building. Something big was coming. Plant tried to reset in round 7, landing quick jabs and circling away, but Canelo simply looked unbothered. His confidence grew with every second. You could see it in his walk, calm, controlled, almost predatory. He stopped respecting Plant's power entirely, walking through punches that would have discouraged lesser fighters. Plant was still boxing smartly, but he was no longer controlling the pace. Canelo was. This wasn't a case of Plant doing anything wrong. It was simply the reality of facing a once-in-a-generation powerhouse. Round 8 offered Plant a brief moment of momentum. He landed crisp jabs, timed clean counters, and tried to re-establish rhythm. But to Canelo, it felt like a formality. The Mexican superstar kept forcing exchanges, cutting angles, and backing Plant toward danger. He landed hooks that shook Plant's head back, digging deep into the liver with vicious body shots designed to end fights later. Canelo was setting traps, inviting Plant to punch, then countering with more accuracy. By round 9, Canelo visibly shifted gears. He began closing distance with faster steps, ripping uppercuts inside the pocket, and throwing combinations with more force. Plant still showed heart, firing back bravely, but each traded moment revealed the difference in power. Even when Plant landed cleanly, Canelo barely noticed. But when Canelo landed, the impact visibly rocked Plant. The tension in the crowd rose. The fight was reaching a breaking point. Round 10 saw Plant working desperately to survive. He moved, he jabbed, he defended, but Canelo's pressure never stopped for even a second. The body shots were taking a toll. Plant's legs slowed down. His guard dropped more often. Canelo kept marching forward, calmly absorbing everything Plant threw at him. Fans could sense an explosion coming. Canelo's eyes told the story. He was waiting for the perfect moment to end it. And that moment was nearly here. When round 11 began, Canelo Alvarez walked forward with a different kind of energy. Calm, controlled, but carrying a silent promise that the end was near. Caleb Plant, battered yet brave, continued boxing with heart, but the exhaustion in his legs and the damage on his face made it clear he was running out of time. Plant tried to re-establish his jab, circling and using angles, but Canelo had completely solved the puzzle in front of him. His pressure grew heavier, his steps more decisive, and his punches more dangerous. Plant landed a few clean shots as he attempted to survive, but Canelo didn't flinch. He kept stalking, cutting off the ring with surgical precision and narrowing the space Plant had left to escape. It was no longer a tactical battle, it was a hunt. Then the moment arrived. Canelo slipped a jab, stepped inside with perfect timing, and delivered a brutal left hook to the head, followed by a crushing right uppercut. The shot lifted Plant off his feet and sent him collapsing onto the canvas, his body sprawling as the crowd erupted. Plant tried to rise, but his legs betrayed him. He stood, stumbling, trying to convince the referee he could continue, but his eyes told the truth. He was in serious danger. Still, the referee allowed the fight to resume. Plant backed away, trying desperately to survive, but Canelo stormed forward with the instinct of a finisher. He let his hands go, short hooks, uppercuts, and straight punches landing with frightening accuracy. A second later, Canelo landed another brutal combination, a clean right hook followed by a final chopping left that sent Plant crashing down for good. His body hit the canvas violently and stayed there. The referee waved off the fight instantly. The arena exploded in noise as Plant lay motionless, the same man who slapped and mocked Canelo, now humbled by the very hands he provoked. Canelo didn't roar or dance or celebrate wildly. He walked calmly to the corner, breathing deeply, letting the moment settle. He showed respect after the knockout, checking on Plant and showing sportsmanship, a stark contrast to the hostility that defined their build-up. But beyond the knockout itself, this fight represented something much larger. It solidified Canelo Alvarez not just as a great fighter, but as a historic one. With this victory, Canelo became the first undisputed super middleweight champion in boxing history, unifying all 4 belts and cementing his legacy. Fans around the world recognized that they had witnessed greatness. They had seen a fighter who blended power, discipline, patience, and ring IQ at a level few fighters in any era could match. Plant's performance also deserves respect. He fought with heart, skill, and determination. He boxed well in the early rounds, stayed disciplined, and gave a strong account of himself. But Canelo's pressure is different. His power is different. His composure is different. The Mexican superstar's greatest weapon isn't just his fists. It's his ability to remain calm while slowly breaking down world-class opponents. Plant wasn't beaten because he was weak. He was beaten because he stood across from one of the most complete fighters of the modern era. This fight also displayed Canelo's evolution as a master of ring control. He didn't rush. He didn't let emotion cloud his decisions. Even though Plant slapped him during the pre-fight scuffle, even though Plant tried to humiliate him, Canelo remained cold, strategic, and relentless. He fought like a champion who knew exactly what he needed to do and exactly when to do it. He carried the pressure of an entire country on his shoulders and delivered a performance worthy of the Mexican legends who came before him. The knockout itself became one of the most iconic moments of Canelo's career, replayed across social media, sports networks, and international broadcasts. Boxing analysts praised the combination for its timing and technique, slipping, countering, pivoting, and delivering power with perfect mechanics. It was the kind of knockout that gets studied in gyms for decades and becomes part of highlight reels forever. Plant learned a harsh but valuable lesson that night. Disrespecting a fighter like Canelo Alvarez never ends well. Slapping him didn't intimidate him. Talking trash didn't soften him. Making personal insults didn't weaken him. Instead, it sharpened him. It awakened the most dangerous version of him. Caleb Plant paid the price for poking a quiet beast. Karma in the ring doesn't need words. It only needs fists. Canelo's victory also served as a message to the entire boxing world. He wasn't just winning belts, he was collecting eras. He had beaten champions across multiple weight classes, destroyed world-level opponents, and now stood alone as an undisputed legend. Fans began discussing whether he was already one of the top Mexican fighters of all time. Some compared him to Julio Cesar Chavez. Others compared him to Roberto Duran and Marvin Hagler. Everyone agreed on one thing: Canelo had become larger than boxing itself. Even after the fight, Canelo stayed true to who he was: humble, respectful, and focused. He didn't dwell on Plant's insults or brag about the knockout. He thanked the fans, praised Plant for his heart, and dedicated the victory to the people of Mexico. That is the difference between a true champion and a loud challenger. Champions don't need to talk their greatness into existence, they prove it. Caleb Plant may have arrived at the fight with arrogance, but he left with humility and respect. And although he suffered a brutal knockout, he also earned admiration from fans for his toughness and skill. But the truth remains: you cannot slap or insult a fighter like Canelo Alvarez and expect to walk away unharmed. He is too disciplined, too focused, and too dangerous. His fists speak louder than any insult ever could. This final combination, those two perfectly timed punches, became the moment that silenced every critic and every doubter who questioned whether Canelo truly belonged among the greats. That night, under the bright lights and roaring crowd, Canelo Alvarez didn't just win a fight. He made history. He delivered justice. He proved that respect is earned inside the ring, not demanded outside of it. And he reminded the world why nobody should ever mistake his silence for weakness. Because when the bell rings and when you provoke the king, there is only one outcome: brutal karma served by the hands of Canelo Alvarez.